Hello everyone, you are joining me on a Thursday afternoon and I actually haven't got anything to film this week because obviously you just seen our last few videos this week. We basically came back from Alt Race, got back extremely early, like Monday morning or late should we say. Spent most of Tuesday recovering and editing the video. Wednesday, come back to the workshop, forgot how much of a shit tip I left it in. Tidied that up, started working on this little thing here, which is a little K truck. And I haven't actually had anything to film during that time. So yeah, I put a post up on the community page saying, what do you want to see next? Because obviously the E34 has been a project on the channel for a while. Finished. All I need to do now is change a radiator in it and drive it around. So that is sort of like a finished project. Obviously, we had the Sierra, then it went basically straight to the E34 or the collection of 34s. A few little other bits in between, but now I need to start on another personal project. And I'm thinking my 6 Series is the best bet. So that needs to be full strip down mode. Get that fully started, you know what I mean? Get on one of these ramps down here, which are on the floor, and just get to it because obviously, as you know, a couple of months ago, I wanted to take that to Alt Race. Now, that would have been a very silly task, but we have a whole year to get back to Alt Race now, which in my opinion is the best car show that you can sort of take your car to now. So might as well build a car for it. And obviously the trip to there is fantastic. And I can't really explain how much of a good time it was. It's just so good, that trip. So yeah, I think next project we should really start like properly digging into, but on a slow burner sort of thing, is the 6 Series. But I need to get it on a ramp first, and yeah, that's gonna take some time. Anyway, so going from the community page, I also asked just general questions like, what do you want to know and whatnot like that. So one of the topics on there was Taylor's E28, which is right here, covered in a layer of dust. It is just on the back burner really. This E28 has obviously a lot more work than both of us anticipated, and to be honest, the last couple of months I've been very busy with sort of cash flow jobs, getting E34 done, and just general other projects that are already here as well. There's obviously a lot of different cars here which have overstayed their welcome because, you know, they end up being more work than they were first anticipated. And I can't spend a lot of time on these sort of projects when, you know, you need a cash flow sort of situation to run the workshop. So yeah, I'll get to it, but at the minute I don't think it's Taylor's priority, and it's not really my priority. And there's only so much filming of Rust that I can do on here, which is very boring. And if you do or don't know, I don't take Rust repair on anymore. That's it, done. I'll never do it again, unless it's very small. I just don't do it. It's absolutely horrible. It's the worst thing ever. I hate it. There's other people out there that do it day in, day out, and I don't understand how they do it day in, day out, because it's just brain rotting stuff. I hate it. You'll never get rid of it. It'll always come back, and you're always chasing rusty metal. So yeah, that's there until Taylor wants to kickstart it back into position, and then I can actually put it through the workshop, because then I'll start doing it again. But until that point, it's on the back burner. Cash flow is king. And on that same question about Taylor's BMW, that person asked a bit of a background about yourself. Now, obviously, if you just joined the YouTube recently, you probably wouldn't know it, but I run Gresswells, which is right here, and that is my business that I've pretty much been doing for nearly 2 years now, full time. Before that, I was just doing little bits and bobs. I basically started it when I got basically fired from my old job, which they didn't fire me because they had no grounds to fire me on. So I left anyway, because obviously I wasn't wanted there. So I left, started doing a few little bits and bobs myself, started Gresswells, and just sort of went into it a little bit. I had a job on the side, and then like, yeah, nearly 2 years ago, I started up on my own. And then it was a big shock to reality, like, oh wow, you need a lot of money to run a business and do it efficiently. And then when you do YouTube stuff, you also need a lot of money to do all of that efficiently as well. So yeah, it's a bit of a hard task. I've always done classic, older cars, modifying them. That's all I've ever done. And everything I know is 90% self-taught. So that's what I do. And that's where we're at. So yeah, future for Gresswells is hopefully get someone else on board. I have a person in mind, but I just need to figure out the logistics. And then we can get more work going through the workshop. YouTube can be done a lot easier and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I'm trying, but it's hard work. So yeah, bit about me there. There you go. This little thing is in at the minute for some random bits and bobs. Now, this is a really early Honda Acti. Very cool little thing, pickup truck. It had a set of drums on it before. They're 4x120 all the way around, which is a rubbish size. And he had some adapters with some SSR Mark IIIs on, and the wheels basically poked out the arches. So the drums have been sent off to be re-drilled. It's coming for like choke cable. I put this little rack thing on. I changed the leaf springs in the rear. See underneath there, we've changed those to be lowered. These are what came off it. See, this has got a curvature. The ones we put in are dead straight. As you'll see there, they're dead straight, and that basically lowers the truck and still has the load to carry lots of heavy weight in the back of here. A few bits and bobs, but yeah, this is in the workshop. Just an in-out sort of job. Get this thing done and out the door by the end of the week, potentially. We'll see. This little thing here, this is coming for bags. I'm not going to start this until that's done. Obviously, when this is off the ramp, that can go back on the ramp and get that done. Obviously, we started that last week and we got a lot of stuff done. So that is hopefully finished by the end of June, that one. All this stuff is like custom stuff, that included. It's all custom stuff. It takes a lot of time, and if things don't go smoothly, it just doesn't work. Also, on these ones here, I've noticed a trend on YouTube is that they don't really like being filmed on YouTube. People just don't engage with it. So I'm going to try and not film custom stuff from now on. And this is really, really cool. I'm just going to probably not try to do custom stuff because it just doesn't really work. Or people just don't seem to be engaged with it. So I'm just not going to do it. But yeah, long projects in the workshop that you see in the background. That's happening. They are happening. But again, I have to follow where the money goes so I can keep this door open right here. Anyway, this thing right here, a few things need to be done to it. I need to basically bleed the brakes, get it running, build an exhaust for it. I have been collecting exhaust stuff for it. So you've got all the pipes and back box and whatnot. So there's a few bits on there that I just need to do. Get the bits that need painted, and it'll be done. But again, just need to find some time for this car. I should have done it ages ago, but life. Cool car. Now that takes us to death row, and that's where all the cars in here just sit and come to die. But I like these cars, so we'll keep them. I had a brief moment yesterday where I thought maybe I should sell this car here, right in front of me, and then I remembered just now that I really like this car and I don't want to sell it, and it would be a shame to sell it as it is because it has great potential, and then hopefully in future we can make great use of this car. But it's this car right here, which a lot of people seem to forget they own, me included. It just sits in here and doesn't sit out in the rain because obviously we don't want it to dissolve anymore, because when I went to London, this little hole here actually happened and only went out in it once, and I'm worried that the rest of the car will look like that. So I don't want to do that. But yeah, 1971 Mazda 1800, very good car. It's as bad as it looks, and the patina is the only reason I bought it. This car's done like 33,000 miles or something, and the interior is spotless. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. Woo! It's just so good. Headliner. It's all in its plastic. Same again for the rear door cards in its plastics. This is a true 37,000 mile car. And as you can tell from the inside, it's very good. 5-speed manual or 4-speed, don't know. Needs a carb to drive it around. Carb is currently just it's bad. Last time we drove it, it wasn't working. I've actually found a guy that is selling or breaking an old Mazda 616, and I'm going to buy the distributor and the carb off him, and hopefully get this running as it is, and maybe drive it at some point in the summer. But yeah, I put on Instagram yesterday that I'd be tempted to sell it for a good price, and then I remember that it is so cool. The potential is there. Like, it's one of the coolest cars that I own, in my opinion. So I don't want to get rid of it, but you know, it just sits there doing nothing. I need like £1 million and then life will be good, but I don't have £1 million. But yeah, don't know. I only bought this on a whim anyway. It came up on Facebook Marketplace and I accidentally just took it home with me. Weird, but yeah. Next. Realistically, these two right here are going to be the cars that you're going to see on the channel next. This one for the long term. This one, I want it to be long term, but I also want it to be short term. If I don't do it long term now, then it'll just be a nightmare. But trying to build two long term cars at the same time can be a little tricky. So this car here, it is a running and driving car once the engine goes back in it. However, I've always wanted this car like as it is, but ITB'd, and the engine is currently away being rebuilt right now. Just the bottom end, head gasket, all the rings, etc. It's currently being rebuilt, and I need to get this car, you know, moving again, in my opinion. But I want to put ITBs on it. Now that is an expensive task, but it'll be so good once it does happen. So I might have mentioned it in the video already, but I've had a design made based around this car and the engine. So that will come out in future, and we'll put it on a t-shirt, and I think it'll be really cool. So hopefully people want to get involved and support this build, because this is the car. This is my baby. Apart from this one, this is the one. I love this car. It is one of the coolest cars that you'll see driving down the road. I will hold my life to it. It is amazing, and I miss it. It's nearly 2 years off the road, so I need to get that fixed before I cry a bit more. But yeah, what should I do? If I do the long build, it's like strip the hole underneath, paint everything underneath, paint the car, paint the engine bay, smooth the engine bay, and then bang it back together on the wheels in a different color. I want it to be two-tone. Not quite sure what color, but every single one of these in the whole world is white. It is good in white, but I also want to build something really nice. So yeah. And this one right here, obviously, you know, bought this early on in the year. I was going to build it for summer, then realized, you know what, stop right there. You're going to rush it and cut corners, and this car is nothing to be cut corners on. I have a brown windscreen here. I do have a full set of brown glass elsewhere that I definitely need to go collect, but it's in Devon. It's really annoying. I should probably message the guy. In here we have just a selection of car parts, bushes, bearings. Look, all of these are actually from Powerflex. So I have full Powerflex bush set, front to rear. They're the classic series. That says black series, but it's their classic line, heritage line. So you get all the performance of like the polybush, but it's black. So you get the black series, which are the really stiff ones. The purples are like your road use, but these heritage line collection, if you want to call it, that is basically the purple ones, but in black, so you don't have purple bushes all underneath the subframes and stuff on a freshly painted car. So the plan is for this car to be fully restored underneath, like just go zinc all the bolts, pound coat all the subframes, everything brand new. And I have a ton of new stuff in the back here. They're spread across everywhere. I've got a lot of parts for this car here. And yeah, I think I might just build on that a bit more, build some more parts, build the parts collection a bit more, and then start getting it stripped and, you know, getting it ready to be built, because next year definitely want to be driving this around. And as you know, the wheels on the E34 are for this car, so yeah, it was gonna happen. So we have a lot of parts ready to go. It's just the long haul of rust repair, replacing everything, sourcing all the other weird random parts that you can't get, just doing it really. Let me know if you want to see this. This is one of the cars I want to start on, to be fair, the most, and just take my time on it. For the first time in my life, I will build a car over the course of 1 year and see what actually turns out of it. Every time I've built a car, it's been always like 3 to 4 months done, start to finish. But this is where I want to go, that extra step, and just level myself up a little bit more, gain some respect from a lot of people. Go, oh, he's actually can do more than 3-month build. That's my opinion, but yeah, that's where we're at with that one. And of course, the E34 is basically done. I'm going to drive this around to a few more events this year, and then, I don't know, depends how much I like it. It might be up for sale, I might keep it. I don't need it, but I am going to keep it for a few months while I do some work to the van, get that up to scratch, get it sort of like one colour and not multicolored like it is. This will be in daily use at some point, so I'll do some work on that. I don't think I'll film that because it's a boring old van, but you know, you might know. Some people might want to see it. It's, I don't know, it's just a van. This is the workhorse, and it does need a little bit of attention, as you can see. But yeah, E34's done. So tell me what I should do with it. You know, I don't need to do anything else. I like it as it is. I'll fix the radiator, just iron out any of the creases that it's got on it, and that'll be that. Like, this is how I like it. I know I need to give it a clean now. It's still wearing its European road miles dirt, but yeah, good car. So yeah, that's where I'm at the minute. Not really a lot going on, but in future we can do a lot more things. I'm just intrigued to see what other people want to see. But at the end of the day, the people who are watching, this is for them basically, and for me anyway. I like documenting it. I've said it before, YouTube is like a modern day forum, so yeah, it just takes up a lot of time and money. So yeah, let me know what you think. Thanks for sticking with me. Normal videos will resume soon. Have a good weekend. Goodbye.